Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Saturday, August 7th, 2021. In both the Lynn life and the Jamie body mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are already living by the many search for truth rules already given to the search for truth community by wiser minds above all of us. And of course, the host lives ourselves, we have to intend to live by those same rules. And we do acknowledge that while the souls don't seem to be living by the rules, we have the opportunity as host lives to live by the rules. And that opportunity is here for all of us all the time. And one of the rules taught by many spiritual teachers is to try to become a better person, to work hard to become a better person, each of us as individuals. That's, some people say, the purpose of religion, and that could be true, is to help humanity become better.
That's right.
And if we're not trying ourselves to become better people, then really what do we have to offer the planet? Right now, how can we be of service in these crisis times? Much of the planet is burning right now. There are fossil fuel pipelines still being rammed through indigenous territories in our own country. This is happening right now, and at least a couple locations that we're aware of. One is in Minnesota.
That's true.
There might be other locations that we're not aware of right now, along with all the many pipelines that already are run through indigenous territory without the consent of the people who are supposedly sovereign over their own land.
That's right.
For him is the message. Why do you ask? And this is a time when it's really time to let go of fossil fuels, and instead of letting go of fossil fuels, we're installing new pipelines to run tar sands oil through, and tar sands oil is oil that should be left in the ground. It's too messy.
That's true.
For him is the message. Why do you ask? And our job is to inspire a divine miracle to stop the destruction, and to have that destruction stopped in a fair and just way, because that would be what divinity would actually do. And it's kind of definitional that if presences aren't intending to act in fair and just ways, then those are not really divine presences. There's something else.
That's true.
They might be intending to do it, somebody says, expeditiously, but that's not divine. For him is the message. Why do you ask? And how can we inspire a divine miracle? What can we do right now to inspire a divine miracle to stop this destruction of all life on earth at humanity's hands, using tools sent in by the spirit world, and to stop that destruction in a fair and just way? What can we do? We know that is the job for not just these two host lives. That was a job for precisely 1 million souls and their assigned lives. And whether or not the souls are still working out of those lives, the lives are tagged with the soul plan. The lives have the soul plan for life. Right. So there are 999,998 other lives who also have this assignment to inspire a divine miracle to stop the destruction, the bioannihilation, and to stop it in a fair and just way. Fair not only to humanity, but fair to all the species, to all life. And now what? How can we be of service? What does the rule book say to do when life in the depths is dangling away from spirit? we can feel that the rule book is not silent on this topic.
That's true.
And that's the situation. We have life in the depths that's just dangling away from spirit. There was some dreamer who was trying to find the precious small things that have been dropped into a very large insane asylum. That's what it was being referred to.
That's right.
That has the feel of another insane asylum seen long ago, maybe 20 years ago, in the dreaming. It's got that same feel.
That's true.
And in both of those dreams, the dreamers were afraid.
That's right. Very, very scared.
Very scared, and they felt like, I've got to get out of here. This is not safe. I'm leaving now. What does the rule book say to do when life in the depths is dangling away from spirit? Because when the best souls feel like it isn't safe and they have to leave, it's kind of like that song American Pie.
That's right.
Divinity taking the last train to the coast and then the music dying.
That's right.
And now, what now to inspire a divine miracle to stop the destruction in a fair and just way? Because when other species are being exterminated by humanity, that's not fair and just. It's not. How is that fair or just? And the tools that are being used are sent in by the spirit world.
That's right.
Because otherwise we wouldn't even have fire.
No, that's true.
For him is the message. Why do you ask? And what now to inspire a divine miracle? What does the rule book say to do when life in the depths is dangling away from spirit? They're talking about a client who has lost connection with her supervisors upstairs.
Yes, that's true.
And it seems to be just for the typical reasons that situation typically occurs.
That's
that
right.
the supervisors were saying something that she didn't want to hear, and so she started listening to one of the fakers who presumably hopped right in and said, "Oh, I'll tell you want to hear, baby. You want to hear something? I'll tell you that."
That's right.
And that's how it is in the astral. It's very lawless right now. And so presumably this happens over and over to all of us all the time.
Yep.
So presumably it's happening every 5 minutes, where there's something that's coming in from above, an instruction that's inconvenient or scary, and we don't want to listen to it, and so we listen to a different voice, hoping that the different voice is still a divine voice.
That's right.
And in this era, it's just not likely.
No.
So what they're saying is what we need to do is go back to things that we did before that helped us jolt ourselves into being able to hear the clear voices, and to try and put ourselves back in that situation. What is the relevance to us? How can we inspire a divine miracle right now?
You know what this kind of feels like is this feeling of what they call Saul's spaceship, which is a higher dimension room where Saul, the advanced soul, generally works. And they're kind of playing a recording of something he said a very long time ago, where he said, if this situation of Ground Zero planet Earth is so average, what has worked in other similar situations to stop the destruction in a fair and just way?
That it's known. The solutions are known.
That's right.
Well, they've said it clearly, is that what has to happen is the karmic cycles have got to be shortened so that they are quick enough that life can connect the dots.
That's
and
right.
given that humanity's a little stupid and short-sighted, all of us stupid and short-sighted, that it has to be fast cycling karma. And even in the moment, it can happen in the moment and we don't connect the dots.
That's true.
We have to have the habit of considering that that might be a way to shock us out of our ingratitude that was just spiraling out of control,
That's
or
what they're
whatever
talking
it is, the thought
Yeah.
train that we've gotten on that's unhelpful.
That's right.
Well, and again, they're talking about the vast bell curve of intention and awareness, and how in the center of the bell curve it's tricky. And so that if we're trying to steer the masses, that what's helpful is delivering karma to the tails of the bell curve,
That's right.
particularly those who are pulling the engine of destruction the hardest. And it's been spoken of many times, the fossil fuel executives, poison industry executives, those who are blocking population control measures, contraception measures, etc., that those are the big problems. And blocking euthanasia measures, it's like there are people, humans, who are volunteering to give up their seat on the bus, and in an era of extreme overpopulation, we should let them give up their seat on the bus and not say that that's mentally unstable, but to say good for them, they have clarity into what the
That's right.
situation calls for, which is fewer humans right now. So there are these known solutions that simply need to be implemented, and then there are those who are attempting to pull society in an opposing direction,
That's right.
into more waste, more frivolity, more lying, cheating, more stealing, more bullying.
That's right.
And now what? How do we shorten the karmic cycles? How can divinity shorten the karmic cycles for the tails of the bell curve of karma? Just the tails. And given that we're all sharing in the heavy weight of karma
That's
of
what they're
this
talking about.
destructive society, even the best of the best, we're still sharing in the weight of it. Probably the karmic deliveries need to be focused on the bad tail of the bell curve of karma, and to deliver that post-haste. I feel no interest
No
in that.
interest. It's a complete dearth of interest.
Lack of interest.
It's like they're just turning on televisions.
All right. But now to inspire a divine miracle to stop the destruction in a fair and just way. We know that reestablishing upward flow is crucial, and that
That's
it's
true.
the trees that create the upward flow, and therefore more trees, not fewer trees, are what the situation calls for. But deforestation, rapid deforestation, is part of the problems of our times.
That's true.
But now to reestablish upward flow. Those are the two things that need to happen: shortening the karmic cycles and reestablishing upward flow. That's what's worked elsewhere, according to Saul's team's research.
That's true.
And we've been following their work for maybe 4 years now.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe longer than
Maybe
that.
longer. I think longer.
But at
maybe.
least 4 years.
Yeah.
We think longer. Maybe 5 years.
Maybe.
And there's no data that shows that they're wrong. All the
No.
data points continue to make it look like their conclusions are correct. Those are the two things that are needed: shortening the karmic cycles, particularly smashing cartoonishly the bad tail of the bell curve of karma, to stop those who have their fingers in the till and who will just back away from their corrupt exploitation at least a little bit for a short period of time. How do we get that to happen?